present, and they will victimize the one that has been left behind, the one that's been abandoned, not outside the hospital, but maybe outside the morgue.
Bunuh mereka.
We lose our first player in our 7th
Oh, itu sih
game of the
orang
day.
tim Indo sebelah juga nge-kill tuh di kill feed tuh.
This is land final
Oh iya, Revenant
live
ya,
from
RNT.
Stockholm, Sweden. We have
Iya.
many players here
Max
from
ini
other
namanya Max.
countries and much on
Iya.
the line.
Si Sacun namanya Mac anjir.
For first place, and that is to come on the weekend. We're almost
Wah.
there, but not just yet. Quick rotation now from D1. Maybe hunting, maybe
Wah, gaspol
thirsty.
banget anjir.
Are they thirsty? Perhaps they are.
Langsung gasnya sih gas siapa?
I think we saw 80 Raccoon go down. We're gonna have to get some confirmation on that, but it did look like they were falling, and it's just now Dewa
Knock
also
anjing si
falling
Caustic.
to Audic Jinx. So maybe Dewa over pursued there. We'll keep you in touch with that one. Seems like they may just be able to stay alive, but not for Easy Flash. Having to do a lot of work to keep it that way.
Halo Ahmad
Early
Rapi.
hustling, but look at that circle, and you could tell it's going towards Tree.
Ahmad.
It is going to be a southern circle, and my oh my, it is crowded, James. Doesn't look like there's going to be any more space freed up.
Yeah. The inside is extremely busy. I don't think tents are permitted, so it's going to be difficult for the late rotations. And Dewa maybe found some more opportunity after all. We'll see if they can deliver on this occasion. They'll lose their Valve though, as we've got shotguns putting in work. How do they fix this situation now? Bastion is naked, he's got no shields whatsoever, and this is less than ideal. Their teammate might get thirsted, but he's going for the full res with some desperate
Nggak dimajuin, nggak dimajuin.
quite concerned. Oh, that is quite the
Bolong anjir
but
demi.
they can move away from it on the high ground at least. So they will be
3 lawan 1 nih. Udah knock 1.
This is getting awkward for both squads now. It is a
Tapi
2
si
versus
Dewa
situation, but they're getting their shield up
ngabisin
against
resource
D1, and
banget
they're
sih
coming
ini.
back for more.
I mean, how
Yeah.
long are you two going to fight each other?
Oh, dah.
Partially because
Dan-
not only is there 18 squads, but look how late.
Iya,
you're
mereka masih
going.
nge-tank
Finally,
zone
Audic
juga bentar
falls.
lagi.
It is Dewa who gets the better end of that
Ada
challenge,
Valkyrie sih.
but my
Tapi kan
goodness,
kalau ada
that took
ultimate
a while.
accelerant sih
You have to say
lumayan
the
lah.
two teams both needing points don't
Iya.
want to be cannibalizing each
Bisa
other
lah.
and making
Masih
sure
zone
that
2
it's
juga.
harder for each of them. Obviously, we still have
Nyetokin si Rinch aja.
that will be focusing not only in the current leaderboards, but as we take
Oh.
on the other side, it was
Anjir.
talked about him.
GG.
GG lu, Mac.
the number 1 team in the tournament right now, points wise in 80 rack.
Nomor 1
That is a huge scout for them to take. Very nice guys. Came and said hello to me yesterday. Very awesome guys, and it's great to see them.
EMP gue nggak tahu nih.
Representing their area and nation. Empire now looking to add to their tally. Not
Ntar
doing
orang
too
Indo
shabby
juga.
at all at the current moment. Gotta dodge that
Semuanya aja nih orang Indo.
Awkward to push on players of all people. Although their standard has been in trouble.
Oh,
The Ogre
Hargai
gila.
gitu jago tuh.
Hargai, it looks like. And I don't know if he's
Bisa
gonna survive.
berlindung gitu, anjir.
Players, we have got some
Apa di belakang knockdown shoot
early
Iya.
in this game today.
These guys just been
Emang
too
gitu
good for
biasanya.
too long.
Kalau udah tinggal 1,
Putting on a show so
teman lu
far in the
suruh
last
itu.
standings.
Tapi
Pepet ke corner
tapi
gitu.
susah.
In the tournament as well, nearly leading out that first group, A versus B. Liquid in another B stream you'll see on Nicewig and Greek God holding that one down were the ones to take the eventual point lead. But Empire, they are determined to continue their success. And it's
Gimana
been
ya,
quite a
MP?
run, James.
Gue
In
nggak tahu
fact,
sih.
this kind of leads me to something I've been discovering just in terms of the way I've thought about these top teams. We mention a lot of brand
Oh,
name organizations.
nggak pakai GB malah nih
Empire
tim.
has
Iya.
put themselves in that conversation in a silent but deadly way. They are always involved.
Ngeras banget nih kayaknya
They
deh.
are always there with a chance to win it, and they
Iya,
are a great
boros.
team fighting team. I feel like we need to put more respect on the fact that this is a team that could win
RC
this
tuh
individual thing.
Korea kayaknya ada.
Biasa.
For sure. They were previously
Oh,
major pushers,
suhu
right?
gue.
Yes.
TSM.
And I don't think too many people really, well, they hadn't established a brand name, let's put it that
Right,
way. You know, they would creep in and get some victories here and there, but you kind of would forget about the name soon afterwards.
Oh,
versus
lawan
some of the bigger
Cloud9
brands, established brands that we have in the space, but they have really made a name for themselves by forces. Cloud9 tried to rotate in a difficult scenario. They've got a roof over their head now, and that will certainly help. But can they stay?
Abra Lele nih
We've got the turbo
IGL-nya
charge.
TSM yang dulu nih.
Normally he's fighting with a charge rifle, but he's got the big guns out real fast.
Sebelum diganti ini.
Hands and knees, and they're gonna
Ganti
have
Hal.
to try and hold the fort in the
Dia
meantime.
masih content creator buat TSM. Cuma kayaknya mainnya buat pro-nya buat Cloud9 deh. Kayaknya gitu deh.
Hal has been deleted by Graceful.
Tough spot.
Baru
for
tahu
TSM.
gua bisa gitu anjing.
Not what they wanted to
Sama.
start. Seemed promising earlier on in A versus B, but now in this lobby they've lost their IGL, or would you say co-IGL if you've been following the scene? Him, Reps, trading back and forth in terms of these conversations. It's been a big topic, of course, when you think of Apex Legends competitive, and you think of North America, it's hard not to mention the winningest team in history, TSM, and everything that goes down to them being dissected. But right here, they're going to have to do it as two. The young Verholz as well. Also named Evan. I'll co-sign that name. It's a pretty good one. He's going to make sure that he stays taking that leadership role, James, that I think they need to have him take in order to win. But right now, there's a lot to do. And shifting our focus back to teams who have proven they can get it done today. Empire, Cleve with the Wingman and the Bloodhound. And NRG their rotation as well, trying to get
Zonnya kemana ya?
listen in.
Atau tadi ke bawah, ke arah mana nggak tahu. Ke bawah aja.
Ini lava siphon sih.
This team is
Land here. They're playing the balcony, it's fine. Landing on me and switching sides.
Gue mau denger soundnya TSM anjing.
I'm gonna bubble, I don't wanna die.
Rivalnya nih, energi.
Careful, they're gonna peek above us, mate. We gotta watch this. This is our.
He's getting over. I'm healing. I'm
Batting as well. Someone hold that.
I'm
They're fine. They would have to like full commit to us.
Pocket 100.
Yeah, you're good. Nice. Team behind. Oh,
Flash
one
either.
team behind. I'm switching sides.
You're good,
Switching sides of the building. Get
Alam
underneath the
banget
stairs. Underneath the stairs now. They're playing as a 3-man.
Gue bener kayak, weh.
Bubble 14, bubble 14.
Aduh orang.
Yeah, they can't really do much like from when we're right here.
Udah sering main anjing.
Ya kan main nih.
They're
Peeking
peeking.
above?
They're all peeking.
Yeah, this is
Kok wallhack anjing?
and they're fucking. Oh my god, it did
Iya,
shift one.
kelihatan gitu ya.
Iya.
Gue main kayak gitu.
Iya sama.
They might EMP and drop.
They
No, they don't.
It's this team.
They don't have it. Any ulti cells?
Harus main turnamen dulu coy supaya kayak gini.
I have 20.
Okay, can we run up the stairs all three together and just try to gank this guy right here?
Yeah.
Ready? Now.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
120.
Pinter.
Bubble. 121, about 66.
Ngerasnya barengan gitu anjing.
I'm grabbing this up.
Iya, kompak.
Done.
Nice.
88 plus. Nice. Great play.
Wah,
Another team. 88. Fuck.
Now
Wow,
there's two
armor.
teams.
Rame anjing.
I got out.
denger dia.
Try to
Third
get out,
party
try to
ya?
get out.
I got
Iya,
out.
teparty.
It's two teams in there.
Itu tim yang di belakang dia tadi.
Try to keep crawling out, Nate.
Yeah,
Or
I
Rucker.
am. They're resing right now, they're resing.
Just let him res. Keep coming down.
I am. I got out, I got out.
Yeah, I'm gonna nade spam. It's Nate. Try to get it.
Ada yang nge-clutch
They're fighting.
clutch tinggal satu orang itu ada nggak ya?
I'm nade
Di
spamming. I stuck one.
circle terakhir banyak sih.
Saya menang
Crack two
champion.
inside, crack two inside.
Iya.
Team above. Get back to our spot, Nate. Get back to the middle of the building. Play.
There, you have to
Dulu banyak.
Wah di ini nama TSM
I
yang
myself. You're fine there, maybe?
di sampah.
dropping on me.
60 flush in that. Give me. Did he bubble? Yeah.
Mati
Why are
energi
they
dah.
doing that?
They look
Masih jadi
left,
red,
they threw
masih jadi
right.
red nih
What
dia.
a play from NRG to take the kill on the Mollywan, but it started a cascade of events, James, that ended up actually losing both members. Sweet now the only one alive, and it was TSM who did that final knock on an Nathan.
Everybody smelled opportunity
Ngeri
there.
terbang anjing.
All the phones
Wah, ada
were
dewa
very
juga,
much was a
Cok.
game show in that scenario, but it was
Iya.
such a sick play, and that's an example of why a lot of people rate Sweet as the best IGL in the game. You just not expect them just walking up the stairs, saying hello,
Kalau
and saying
Kraber nih
goodbye
kelar.
to Empire at the same time. A nasty surprise for them as they continue to do a little worse on World's Edge than they
Tim apa tuh
started.
anjing?
We see TSM dropping on them as well, and again TSM a team
Tuh.
who started hot today, but
Ulti
have
caustic
started to
apaan
cool
tuh?
off as well. Seeing some desperate just to try and control some space. Big rotation from Rejected. It'll
Wah, anjir.
but they'll soon drop back into the map.
Bisa gitu.
Nice missile swarm as well. It's going to
Mati.
land. Hits 3, 4,
Mati.
5. Oh my God, the wingman did not miss. Dogma did a ton of work there. Oh, but you
Bisa,
can see
bisa.
that maybe it isn't enough. What a tricky situation. Obviously coming in, Mid-Seong doing his best.
Anjing.
That it was
Yeah.
just so close.
Ay,
Middle,
Shibay.
only one player remaining.
Ay, si
and it was
bucinya sih
Momo.
wala.
High health, but
Ya, baru
oh,
hidup
what
anjing.
an effort at least.
So many bullets in that Spitfire, but still not enough. And here is the send from Detonator. They smell a barbecue, and they've got their forks out. Some problems, but they should be able to stabilize here.
Nah, Korea
They
nih.
will be that
Oh,
res.
banyak Korea.
I think they might have enough space and suppressing fire. There will be some Valkyrie, but actually there might be a send on them. I'm not sure.
Elemen
Meantime, Element
tick.
6 are also trying to stabilize. Trying times for many a team as we see the kill feed being lit up and indeed detonated will be pounced upon. Revenant Esports coming through to take yet more names. They're racking up some nice kills for them in themselves in this game.
What a crazy pull from this circle. Everyone's thinking it might end up going tree, ends up sliding over into this corridor, and now they've got to move, which is why we're seeing the time and time again these fights happen what feels like in desperation because it's gone launch site. So we've got teams now who have been able to make that move, and specifically I have my eyes on Alliance, who are the second place team here in the entire
dikurung gitu anjing.
but it's elevated. We're trying to break through these Watson fences, James, and they're going under some pressure, but they'll be making it out. That's Vega who will actually fall.
That was nice little,
Oh, Indo Pride.
Indo Pride, let's go. Aduh.
Banyak loh kill lagi mereka.
Wow. Element 6 eliminated.
Ini asis 6 itu siapa ya?
Always have the gold armors, and in a situation like this, that one
Lahim
shield
dari
cell can go oh so far, but Revenant Esports don't care
Dewa
about the gold
udah
armors.
cabut ya Dewa.
Wives, Yuki, Hockey's on
Iya
Alliance.
tadi, barusan tuh eliminated.
We've got Elevate who just finished off Dewa. And so Dewa had been holding it down after that long run and fight with Audic. It did turn into at least a top 6 position, but this is the man in command right here, the IGL for Alliance. And you can see
Alliance di
he's
sini
doing
apa?
everything that he can to just
EU
keep pressure
kayaknya
on.
deh.
They've got low ground, and 2, splitting the difference in the middle to try
Wah,
to
susah
basically
nih.
be involved in this and leave a contingency plan if they get
Depan truk itu nggak ada lagi.
Revenant Esports taking down AD Raccoon,
Maksudnya
James.
nggak ada lagi?
What a game this would be.
Nggak ada cover.
Look at how open and awkward this zone is. It's going to be Battle of the Domes, I think. If you find yourself without one, you could be in a lot of trouble.
Dia
Plenty of
pantekin
harassment
anjir.
coming into that left corner here, but once those ults have gone, they may. Oh, actually, I don't know if they're going to have some space. Do you want
Dua
to
tim
bring
mantekin
to that
Revenant,
for the time
cuk.
being? They're not your biggest threat. No. If you get some downs, you can't really send on it. So
Oh, dia nggak ada rate lagi.
here and there coming in, but I don't know if we're going to see the kitchen sink thrown at Revenant Esports, who seems to be
Berantem mereka.
surviving. They've got some loot as well, some boxes. In the meantime,
Res.
though, Alliance may have some
Nice.
issues, but they've got a good enough angle to surely get a res here.
And I think this is Fennel. I think this is Momon.
Gue jadi dia, gue coba ke bawah tangga sih, cuma susah. Gak ada aura.
Where they've got so many people who they could shoot at, throw ordinances at, but no one wants to give up their spot.
Mau muter juga tuh udah sakit ya.
Round 6 about to close in 8. We are here in our first game
Mau
of
muter,
A
mau
versus
muter
C, our
kemana
second round of the day, and it is about to turn up.
How do Revenant move forward? Do they dome forward and run into it? Do they try and foul cult? Do they
Nice,
use
ke bawah tangga dia.
to run distraction in the meantime?
Good dome.
Look how
Wah.
far they go. That dome is deep.
Wah,
They've got
bisa nih, bisa nih, bisa nih, bisa nih.
to fight some more.
Bisa nih.
Quick fight.
Wah,
And this is gonna be
bisa, bisa, bisa. Gila, nice.
Pass speed at boxes. Say Revenant Esports.
Mundur, mundur.
Can they survive?
Wah, modal
Still
lah,
alive
modal.
here as well. 4 squads left. You can see Revenant.
Bapa,
They're gonna
mereka
fall.
banyak killnya.
It
Top
is
4, top
Fennel.
4, top 4.
Pinoter who finds
Iya.
that kill. What a play from our
Perasaan
representative
udah
here in
gugur ya?
Equinox North, but it's still Alliance,
Udah.
the kings of EMEA, at least right now. They are at the top
Oh,
of the
di up
leaderboard,
dia.
and they go up to the sky only to fall ever so slightly
Up
down.
tuh
And look
apa?
at this. Wives falling down as well.
Daerah
He's
daerah yang
waiting.
out of bounds
Hockey's
itu
to have a contingency
bilangnya
plan, that last-ditch effort, and make sure the attention isn't on him when he falls.
They could hide behind the blue boxes and
Oh,
I think the zone, I'm
nice
not sure if it will go
ultinya.
in their favor or not, but we're going to see some Jibby ults and that won't be in your favor if you don't have a dome. Trying to cover the 6 now as there's action coming in all directions. Goodbye Fennel, don't like the T. 2 squads remain now and Alliance have opportunity, but Hackers has been absolutely annihilated.
Heal, bisa heal.
Maybe he will be enough tribute and they can
Alliance
do
yang
something
menang.
on low ground now in a 3 versus 2.
Tapi Zen
However, the
punya
team up top
high
have to
ground.
get their heals up and maybe that provides some opportunity. You see the heals coming
Lah,
through as they
Zen
try
sih
to bring
menang
the
nih.
core
They got
kick barrels.
Hockey's.
It could really go either way here, but well, I don't think so now.
Ya, Zen
Alliance
menang dah.
trying to hold on.
Ige.
Yuki doing what he can.
Wow.
But Zen will take the
Wah.
victory.
Look at the energy. You can
Mic-nya sampai
pop off. We're live, baby. This is Stockholm, Sweden. We are at the playoffs.
Sat.
and
Santai,
Zen is
botak.
talking there.
Baru-
So you love
baru
to
nomor
see it.
1.
They sit down
Baru
and
nomor 1
they're
botak.
the day on points.
Oh,
The number one
Brazil.
representative in EMEA, and they
Brazil,
throw up the
Brazil.
flag,
Baru round 1
representing their
anjing.
hometown, their country.
Santai.
This is what esports is all
Ini
about.
bacot nih Johnny
Two
Sins nih.
Brazilians and
Gitu.
Chilean on the team. That's what you want to see. You want
Johnny
to see
Sins, man.
the smaller territories with less teams coming through, representing, showing people in their region what you could possibly do in future tournaments. But that is a big victory for Zen to go up against a team.
Brazil
that
emang
have
lagi
been
GG banget sih.
taking things by storm. And hey, respect to them. They finished in second place, but to overcome a team like that is a fantastic
Valorantnya
statement.
CS.
Anjing pakai celana.
The way that they position themselves to, I think that
Iya, kalau nggak
final
pakai
circle
celana
was
bugil
really a
dong.
lot about who was
Oke.
in the best place and out of kind of the center of attention.
Halo,
So
Ray.
many teams had
Real
access to
coy.
different parts
Apaan, Real?
of
Benar,
other
orang
teams,
Indo.
right? You had Revenant who was trying to push
Nggak bohong, gua lagi di
Alliance
Stockholm.
on the low ground. There was a lot of people, Fennel up top fighting with Zen. There were so many people you could choose. They find a way to stay out of a lot of that controversy for quite a while to show up in that final two on high ground.
Evener lumayan lah. Nomor 2.
In that moment, and it shows up here
Iya.
in the point. Zen taking 19.
Beda 1 poin anjir, killnya 13 tai.
They do finish second.
Iya, makanya gila, banyak banget kill-nya.
Look at really the story for me, James. You've got Fennel at 15.
Kok kalau champion juga udah fix. Susah ngejarnya anjir.
Our representatives from Indonesia, Revenant Esports.
Jago kan gila.
Points, a second place overall finish for them.
Yeah,
Perasaan kemarin 6-2-3 kok 6-2-1 lagi? Apaan 6-2-3?
You're definitely thinking about them now. We saw a lot of their kills as well. We saw a lot of their runs in that game, and that was fantastic to watch the decision making. They understood the position advantage they had.
Anjir, sedih banget.
There are bigger threats across.
Tapi biasanya TSM tuh yang comeback anjir.
Get that late dome in, clear out the teams. Fantastic work.
Feeling aja sih.
Anjir, TSM Cloud9 sama NRG sama Skers di bawah dong.
Online and even now within the game, and the crypto certainly something that isn't a mainstay in North America. It's something that we see spattering of in EMEA, but what we're really seeing is in some of these APAC regions that there is a different approach and I think trust in the way crypto can help you win these final circles. It's a slower pace. It's not as exciting of a pace.
Iya,
but it
tim-tim
seems to
Asia
be getting the
pakai
job
kripto
done.
dari tadi anjir.
Stalazy, talk about
Gue gak tahu kenapa.
an empire of his own.
Gila, Revenant kill 13 loh.
And a pop-off that I think we're going to remember for a while.
Yeah, and there was so much happening at the top that
Itu kalau gua dia top 2 aja.
talk about the bottom, but
Juara 1.
the bottom 6 teams
Iya, poinnya paling banyak.
It was an absolute disaster for some of the bigger names that we're expecting to see here. Cloud9 again, they were currently, well, they were in 4th place.
Keren.
They finished in 17th place. AD Raccoon in 20th place. Empire 16th.
Proof lah masuk LGS.
They got clapped.
Tryhard.
When you get the different groups matching up, then maybe things are going to go wrong for some people. Or hey, if a team like Revenant Esports is able to force their way to the top, someone else has to go to the bottom.
Well, North America certainly got a little sleepy after lunch, we'll tell you that. But Indonesia certainly didn't, as well as Brazil. These teams started to pop off. We're seeing some representation in our first global experience in years in Apex Legends here in Stockholm, Sweden. Rain Day, James, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. We've got Game 2 coming up here in our second round. Don't go anywhere.
Domino City. Anjing gua kira sejam. Subrek. Oh, kemarin. Nggak tahu dah. Cloud9 belum main nih. Udah, saya udah main. Cloud9. Udah main doi.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. We took a quick break here in our second round of the day. A round, that's 6 games. We've got 3 rounds. If you did the math, it's 18 games today. Our first day of playoffs in Sweden. My name is Rayday, joined by James Bardoff. Of course, James, I mean, the action, you couldn't have asked for a better start to the game and better storylines, especially from some teams we probably didn't expect to do so well.
Yeah, and it's always good to see the regions that we're not so familiar with. Obviously, you and I cover EMEA and North America most of the time, and you know, there's only so many regions you can watch based on time zones and needing to sleep. But it is great to see
You can't do it all.
some of the smaller representation putting in a big footprint on the faces of some of the more established names. That was the first game. Doesn't mean it will happen in the second. I cannot imagine we'll see all those names in the arse end of this once again. One of them being Alliance, of course, who had not the greatest of games. That was, sorry, excuse me, not Alliance. Alliance came second, but some of the other teams like AD Raccoon, like Players,
Cloud9.
like Cloud9.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, yeah, there's a lot of them that ended up in the Empire, 16th place for them, NRG, 15th place.
Let's go, game 2. Let's go.
In that game.
Well, it's time for
Dia
a
pengen main HP nih.
resurgence. You know what that means. Somebody from the
Tapi gue lagi mau
bottom's
nge-push
gotta
Valorant.
make a rise to the top. Which team will it be? Will it be the team that already told us, hey, Rayday, James, we just gave you the story. It's Indonesia getting the second most amount of points heading into it. That would be, of course, our friends Revenant Esports. But South America holding strong. Brazil in particular, Elevate, Zen, 2 teams in that final circle, showing us exactly why we need to pay attention to this regional format of the Apex Legends playoffs. We are so excited to get Game 2 underway here on World's Edge. 2 of 3 on the day and 3 more on Storm Point after it's all said and done. What a time to be an Apex Legends fan as they drop Big Mod here. We follow along with our other representative here from South America, Brazil particularly as well, and that is Adik, who got into some trouble with Dewa a little earlier on. I think it lasted too long for both of them.
Oh, purple backpack off the drop. Must be nice. Must be nice.
That doesn't happen to you?
I get a 30-30, a P20-20, and
A syringe.
and no backpack,
Yeah,
basically.
right.
And that's it. I'm just full poverty status straight off the bat. Well, I think NRG in particular were very unlucky in that last game because again we had the good fortune of seeing a fantastic play from them. Again, their decision making is exquisite, and we saw a great example of that. But everybody else saw opportunity. They saw candy in the candy shop, and they came in for it. And there's not much you can do. I don't know if there was anything else they could do at that point. I think it was just one of those things. But they showed great potential. And of course, we often do see that from NRG, which is why they were my pick for this one. I did want to go with the Watson team, but I don't think Vega are gonna have a crazy performance.
It's a hard
in
lobby.
this this is a very, very tough lobby, so I don't want to like throw everything away.
Yeah,
but
You're
I
still
do wish
Watson
them the
fans,
best.
man.
It was just so much fun. It's just so different to everything else we're seeing. And we did, in some of the scrims, we saw some great highlights from some Watson players just taking out player after player, and I would love to see that today.
Well, you know, piggybacking on your NRG comment as well, them doing something different, seeing Candy in the candy shop, but also having eyes to say there's a play to be made here that Empire clearly did not expect. And you talk about a team that was in a prime position. They could have held that building till round 4, go out pretty clearly into the choke, be fighting from the angle that I think we saw Fennel fighting for most of the time, and keep the high ground.
Halo Yuki, oi habis potong rambut, udah lama dari kemarin Yuki aja yang baru mampir.
Why people consider him the best IGL? Why Hal even in clips has been known to say, listen, Sweet, he micromanages more than me. I give it up for him to do that. He said some other things too I'm not going to repeat on here, but overall there's a ton of respect for what he can see and envision and allow his teams to do like a well-oiled machine. And I think that does bode well for them being your pick today. Obviously didn't work out in game 1, but we still got game 2 here. And look at this. 80 Raccoon.
Yeah.
Is that something that just happened with NRG?
Tampaknya kayak bukan teman saya, Eta Sara. Ini RocV Yuki, parah banget dilupain gua.
If he can solve that. Maybe just going for a game restart or something, but he seems safe for the time being. In the meantime, we see slightly northeastern and many teams heading in that direction early. Real estate
baru dari mana lu?
Ternyata di mute mic-nya.
Dicacat.
Life may be difficult for those latecomers, and Alliance may be one of those late teams. Perhaps they'll play edge in the current scenario.
Anjing players 0 banget. Kasian banget.
Kenapa?
Itu si players 0 poinnya banget.
Sedih.
Ayo bisa lah, repenan lah.
See how it goes though. Plenty of skill remains on that team.
Wah, stuck.
KM-nya kemana?
To try and get those shields back up. They don't want to have another shocker here.
Yeah, dangerous though.
Iya ampun itu orang. Kok kaku banget ya ini si players ya? Gerakannya loh. Iya gak sih?
Enggak sih. Si Hargai enggak.
Kayak telat gitu anjing responnya.
Gugup kali.
Players continuing to bide their time. Smart choice, and of course, when you're talking about choices you can make, I think this is the best one to do. The bow check in hand, maybe want to put that one away for now, but the wingman certainly with the 2 times will hold.
Kalau diberi
soalnya setelah potong rambut, masa sama-sama aja tetap RocV. Mardika halo baby. Dukung tim mana bang? Dukung tim Indo dong, tim Repenan sama tim Dewa. Indopret gue bro. Kapan lagi ada tim Indo masuk ALGS?
Not nothing doing just yet, and of course, this bow check is less than ideal, as we can see here. A number of targets, but nothing hitting the mark just yet. We have lost a single player thus far. Not sure if that was disconnect or someone else, but I'm sure we'll find out later on. But for now, it's uncomfortable for many. And I am, again, like, since we got to World's Edge, Empire have not really had the results that I'm sure they're looking for. They're still high on the table, but where's the Maggie? Where's the caustic?
You have been hyping that up, and I think for a really good edification of our audience, the differences that Empire are willing to take in terms of legend competition is something that sets them apart
Banyak
as
banget
far as their
ya.
playstyle and their confidence as well. They ran Bangalore, they ran Wraith, they mixed
11 biji anjing.
Dia 11 nih. Temennya 16 tadi.
Anjir.
As well. They've also run Maggie on World's Edge, so it's not crazy. Mad Maggie, although no other team is playing her, Empire has chosen to go that route, which I'm a fan of. I love the Riot Drill. I think it's the most potent thing in her lineup by far. I would be surprised to see them use it here, though, James, because it does feel that
mirip S4 anjir.
Siapa?
Mirip tadi mirip S4.
Oh tadi ada ya yang jidat lebar.
Iya yang players juga. Oh Hal ngebunuh tuh.
With Q spam. I don't know what the button it is on the controller, but on the keyboard it's certainly the Q. So we can see that teams coexisting for now, as we find ourselves on 58 players. And Rejects maybe looking to have a go on a replicator, but having some difficulty with that at the moment.
Saja berapa hari dah?
is
Kenapa?
the replicator at the moment. That would be
Grup
a
stage
major
berapa
thing
hari ya?
for the time
Nggak
being.
tahu
So
deh.
nothing too
4 hari
difficult.
kayaknya deh.
Like
Atau
Vicky and I are big
lebih.
3 sampai
we're
4 lah. Ini si
that
Hal
because
rambutnya udah
the
kagak ini lagi.
turbocharger being in
Agak
the
mie lagi.
replicator, because then you see all kinds of energy.
Biar
and
hoki kali, ganti rambut.
Jadi, bisa
especially
jadi.
absolutely shred. We saw Alvarez was
Nanti kayaknya yang top 20 poin paling banyak itu kayaknya deh apa
Lolos
masuk
upper
main
bracket.
event.
Enggak, ini upper bracket. Katanya 20 tim atas upper bracket. Nanti 20 tim bawah lower bracket.
Oh.
Tadi awal-awal.
Sambil 10-10 gitu kali.
Iya.
Backpacks, batteries out of nowhere, weapons even this season with the flatline and longbow, but has become such a crucial part.
Gua mau setidaknya apa? Ini Indo masuk final lah. Kalau bisa menang sih.
Wah, kalau menang gua waduh, tumpengan gua.
Sama anjing gua beli main up enggak jadi push follow, gua push apex anjing.
I don't care. Like we have to get their loot.
I'm healing up.
They're coming to me now.
Oh ini nih, gua demen nih.
Gua udah merinding nih.
Lu dimarahin Hal kencing-kencing anjing.
Popping his friends.
Ini dia nggak pakai voice in game kan?
Enggak. Team speak paling.
Yeah, we're both cracked. We're both cracked.
Biasanya team speak sih.
Play so.
There's another
I need to get out. It's another full team. It's another full team trying to start. Yeah, try to get out.
Kalau tim Indo menang, iya dah gua pargoy dah kalau tim Indo menang. Rela gua.
That's my give you.
Popping his friends.
Let's run back inside. Let's run back inside. Run back inside.
Oh gila, dimarahin lu anjing.
The Gibby is thirsted. I'm on first floor right now.
Run back inside, run back
I'm
inside,
2-0.
There's a
run
box out
back
here.
inside.
Yeah, loot the box like right away. I don't care where it is. There's bats and shit. Their solo still got away.
Si ini si siapa si Valorant kagak kelihatan kayak pakai controller ya.
Pushing up.
Okay.
Tapi gimana
Iya.
megangnya?
Inside.
Crypto almost cracks.
Crypto.
Nice.
I cracked
Dog
another.
flash, dog flash.
I cracked two. Give me one. Nice. I'm one.
Udah menang ini
Get
TSM.
over me, please.
I got him all.
Nice.
Ngetersnya kayak gitu.
South. Walking close.
I'm 1 HP. I got solo. I'm 1 HP. I'm going second floor.
He's next to us. He's a kill this guy.
Solo. It's a solo.
Tapi tim Indo menang final ya.
Cracked.
Get him, Evan. Coming to you, Evan. Yeah. There's another team on top.
Agak
No.
champion doang.
Careful.
Ih, Valkyrie-nya low bet tuh.
In the ditch. He's super low.
I downed him. Nice. He raised his teammate. I
wanna
got his
push that?
teammate up top.
Yeah,
that's his teammate, I think.
I have zero shields.
I'm dropping. I dropped you my only bat. Look for his teammate.
Oh,
Nice.
TSM.
Zone's coming in.
Kill
I need
leader.
to heal, bro. Hold on. We just need to loot. We need to loot. We don't know where's.
Kan biasa TSM tuh comeback aja.
I need a shotgun. He has a massive. Perfect.
Awal-awal game dia cacat tuh pasti deh.
I have 0 bats right now.
Iya.
I can drop
Gitu.
your bat. Okay. Not yet. I need shotgun ammo. I have 1 bullet.
Let's go loot.
I'm dropping it. I dropped you 8. I'm dropping your bat, Jordan. Turn the fuck around before we go to somebody else.
Passion.
Kenapa ini?
Ngasih battery doang. I'm dropping your fucking bat, Jordan. Turn around the fuck now.
Jordan tuh sama Imperial Hal.
Jordan tuh si Reps
I would
nih.
describe it as a suicide run from rejecting
Dikasih bet tadi sama si Imperial Hal lah.
Terus dikatain.
Iya, kayak gitu doang ngomongnya nggak enak banget anjir. Cuma ngasih battery doang.
Dia bilang, "Here your fucking bet, Jordan know apa?"
Iya, kayak turn the fuck around, Jordan. Here's your battery.
Tahu apa?
Turn the fuck around, Jordan. Here's your battery gitu.
Turn the fuck itu. Disuruh
Turn the fuck
balik.
around tuh, iya, muter goblok gitu.
Oh. Ini galak banget anjing, gua di situ nangis gua. Gue cuma minta battery, Bang. Mana? Oh, RNT. Let's go RNT.
Yoi. RNT di no name apa tempatnya itu kalau nggak salah. No name terus itu Oil Rig ya kalau nggak salah.
Kind of central area, it will be
Udik.
a very familiar one for most of the teams in this lobby. Empire kind of
Udik.
at the center of it as well. It's not going to pull for those
Sakit,
who were
anjir.
watching earlier far towards Overlook, where we saw actually Optic Gaming win.
I gotta say, if you look on the radar, you can see there's 2, maybe 3 crypto drones. These guys about to get thirsted.
Wah, miskin banget nih si Odik.
So edge here as well. I can't see that this has been working for them, but the commitment to it as well, playing around Fragment, has just created all of these
Dewa
feisty engagements.
lawan Cloud9.
As well, a team that has been well
Epet.
on the minds and tongues of many of the players here, talking about what's going on with them, how will they perform. Graceful, Stay Naughty, Albrelelli, and they're rocking the havoc as well. James with a big shout out. The green and green looks good on the Caustic Man, and we'll see if he can put it to good work here. Only 19 squads remaining. They're looking to make it 18 to win this fight. Let's go ahead and listen in.
Crack two right, I'm back. Wait, why are we all the way back there? Wait,
Crack one.
I had
Can
Dia bingung anjing kenapa kita di sini, tay.
I didn't know there was a spot back there.
Bro, I don't know what the fuck we
I
just
had no
did,
idea.
man. Uh,
There's 2 in
Oh, lu
my
mati gitu hal ditabokin lu.
Iya.
2 of them are on blue armor.
crack. Crack. No,
Nice.
what?
Ah!
Oh, I didn't have bullets.
Kenapa nggak di melee?
Oh my
Wah,
goodness, so close.
Revenant itu mati sama Imperial Hal anjir.
Anjing ah.
Out of his fingers
Si
there on that
Ilham
Cloud9
anjing.
will be out. It was actually Scars who took down NRG as well in your kill feed, but an unfortunate kind of miscalculation.
Detonator.
Like communication
Wih,
wasn't
Jepang nih
down
anjir,
below.
detonator.
Ya kalah, Cok.
Because he had a gold havoc.
Di kill tuh. Revenant tapi Revenant
Must be nice. Well,
bisa lah Revenant lah.
oh, TSM just got wrecked as
Ah,
well by Elevate.
gagal.
Aduh.
They've been sent to the
Ah,
lower ground level,
tidak.
right down there. Revenant Esports will now have a repeat of their first game here.
Ya
in
jagoan
this
gua mati-mati
series.
semua.
They will be
TSM mati juga.
as well, so
Mati juga.
big casualties
Sama di tempatnya sama
early on,
ELV ya ini ya.
16 squads now.
Iya.
And again, in the split, we saw a lot of Albrelelli on the charge rifle. Now we're seeing a lot of Albrelelli on the Havoc. I like it. Elevate looking for more opportunity now. I hear cracks. Is it Stone Cold Steve Austin? No. It's Elevate. Just
Anjir.
people with a crafted flatline while they try and escape the zone, but can they escape Elevate?
Nella saying Bom Dia as well, representing our Brazilian
Tapi ternyata aim yang di LGS nggak seperti yang gua harapkan aja.
Ya apa emang?
Kayak masih ada missnya gitu. Nggak semua peluru masuk.
Pasti ada lah.
Halo Iqbal, welcome to the stream.
Yang penting
Nah,
yang
nih,
paling penting
S4
positioning
anjir.
sih.
Di S4 loh.
Yang mana?
Ini tadi PKMK.
Oke. Ntar dah gue perhatiin nih.
Kayak gua malu telat dah. Agak telat dikit.
Oh iya, S4.
Ya kan? Ntar gue refresh dulu dah. Agak cepetan dikit.
Like he didn't have enough time to finish the trilogy of that movie anyway. So
Pindah profesi, Cok.
skip it. Read the
Main
story,
Dota kalah mulu.
Dota
talk to him,
kalah mulu.
and there you go.
Oh,
Look at this.
just as
little
I
bow
say
check
that.
action. Good from range, James, but I think you're right. R301 is going to be better bet over the course of this game. Elevate
Oh, RPR masih belum out nih.
underneath the tunnel. There might run into NRG though, but meanwhile, Empire in the thick of things. Maliwan,
Yes!
knowing that Ranch
Guess
is
who's back?
oh my
Tapi
word.
gue Revenant sama TSM sama lah fair powernya, maksudnya si Revenantnya sempet nge-sekaratin TSM lah. Oke lah.
Gitu lah. Semuanya hampir sama ya, Meh.
Iya. Maksudnya
Sama kayak
kalau
Valorant kan.
Valorant fair powernya ada yang lebih tinggi.
Oh iya.
Ada.
Tapi kalau level kayak Grand Final, bukan Grand Final sih. Maksudnya main stage-nya VCT gitu kan nggak beda-beda jauh.
Iya, kalau final stage kalau awal-awal ya ada yang lagi jelek, ada yang lagi bau. Ini turnamen
Kalau
Apex
ini
Indo apa seluruh dunia? Dunia dong. Ini di
sama
stop.
ada Indonya.
Iya, dunia tapi ada Indonya. Keren ini.
Fire coming out of this truck from Scars. They try to create space for themselves, and actually Mali
Tim Indo literally tiga-tiganya dari Indonesia ya. Kagak kayak kemarin PRX tim Singapura. Ini literally Indonesia.
2 tim, 6-6-nya Indonesia.
Iya, 2 tim. Dewa Esport sama Revenant Esport. Wah anjir gua diginiin bingung gua. AT4 anjir.
Pasrah.
Iya.
Padahal bagus ya posisinya nih.
Down there in the process, so Zen Wolf falling as well. You can see the kill feed starting to flow like a river. Scar staying alive and out of sight though.
Ngapain dia?
A ton of damage here in the zone. RPR is gonna risk it for the biscuit. He gets a little bit.
Vega nih.
Ready for this final 9 squads now, but still 1 minute left before
Jepang
we get
nih.
to round 6. And it is getting tight here.
Happy anjing tapi itapi cuk. Kreatif juga ya.
Iya ya. Baru tahu gue tuh segitu.
Jigen anjay. Namanya Jigen anjing.
Musuhnya Goku.
Masih adakah tim Indonya atau udah tusun? Tadi tim Indonya juara 4, dia sempat juga di posisi 2, tapi sekarang udah mati. 9 squad left. Oh Dewa masih ada coy.
Itu bukannya yang udah
Dewa
mati.
United Esport kelas 11.
Oh iya deng, masih ada. Di
Masih
mana
ada.
dia?
Jago cuy tim Indo, jangan remeh-remehnya.
Iya jago cuy.
Not because they haven't been playing well, but have they proven that they are in the top of the top, that they will close out a game if you leave them alive in the final 5. They've certainly gotten close, and in this tournament.
Oh, God spot. Tapi ada RPR di situ.
We'll see if that form continues though. Only 4 points so far in round 2 and game 2.
Oh, this is such an awkward plan B.
Posisinya jelek anjir.
But there's a full team up there. They don't have any cover. They've got angles coming from multiple directions. I don't know where they go from here.
GB ult mesti. Tapi ada GB juga sih yang di atas tuh.
Ini spectatnya nggak liatin yang Indo tadi, udah lewat. Udah lewat tadi. Nanti juga lewatin nih Dewa United. Nanti dah. Kalau ada gua kasih unjuk. Ini kayak Dewa United lagi ngendok cuk.
Iya ya, kayak tinggal 2 deh tadi mereka.
Pas lawan Cloud9 kan, mana nih Dewa United? Kagak ada.
Di mana?
Apa masih di luar zona? Kan nggak mungkin ya.
Nggak mungkin. Mati.
Oh, udah.
Itu tuh. Si Red tadi tuh.
Tinggal 1 orang Dewa Unitednya.
Iya. Gak apa-apa lah. Placement.
Juara 5. Udah tinggal sendirian dia. Itu rambutnya nggak kecolok, mata apa ya?
Kayak protagonis di Jin gitu.
Iya anjir. Wah ente iya, tapi nggak apa-apa, gue masih dukung. Indo Pride bisa ini Indo, sumpah dah jago.
Iya asli jago. Tidak disangka gitu.
Tapi itu jagonya nggak sekedar wah gue cuma udah masuk LGS, enggak coy, bisa nyaingin semua orang ada di sini.
Iya.
Tadi aja kill 13 total Indo awal-awal si Revenant Esport.
Iya, kill paling banyak.
Lain sih, players nih menang nih kayaknya. Tempatnya bagus. Mana sih yang tadi si botak sombong itu aja?
Tim apa tadi dia ya? Zen. Menang kali dia menang.
Wah anjir mirip orang Indo nih 100 Thieves tadi.
He's going to try to find some damage, but they're still waiting. They do not want to drop until there's only 2 squads. Them and the team below them about to get finished, but they are coming from the
menang ini players.
Iya menang. Nice.
Nice. Nah ini biasa aja anjir, nggak kayak si botak tadi anjing.
Udah sering nih Hargai.
GG Hargai.
They really did exploit the teams below. Waited until the right
Yeah,
time to strike.
S4.
As soon as it said 2 teams remaining, off they go. They make a Reuben
Yang minum
sandwich.
Coca-Cola.
Bread on either side.
Minum apa anjing itu?
That is a very important
Oh,
victory for a very calm Hargai.
Hargai. Is it the straw? Is
Bensin kayaknya deh.
Oh tuh G-Lite Super Pro tuh. Di Pro Super Lite no.
Wah, tiga-tiganya anjir.
Emang katanya mouse FPS sekarang G Pro Super Lite semua anjing. No, itu G Pro Super Lite juga tuh.
Ya, tadi si botak teriak-teriak.
Iya, lebay banget. Yang lainnya kayak biasa aja anjing.
With second place, but you know, I think they did the best they could.
Bangga dia Brazil soalnya.
Iya sih. Brazil peratnya lumayan ada lah.
Iya. Ya, gue juga kalau Indo menang gue teriak-teriak juga sih nih.
Yes.
Apa?
Dewa nomor 5. 24 players. Tinggi juga doh. Oh, udah killnya banyak. Champion anjir. Si players.
They find somehow to
Gila, 24 poin.
push the envelope, and it really makes it difficult for teams who maybe like to play more patient or wait for the game to come to them. 100 Thieves Element 6, particularly in that final fight, to really be at the back end of that. You could tell the aggression.
TSM sedih banget anjir.
Kok gua telat sih anjir.
Big shout out to Vega though, 12 points on that one.
Udah ganti ke TSM ini.
Belum.
Oh, gua kira.
Dewa United. Anjir,
Dewa
Dewa
United.
United.
Tapi nomor 7 anjir kalah. Akun TSM 6 anjir. Mana si Repenan? 1-2.
1-1.
Another nightmare game for them. Revenant Esports couldn't replicate the success we saw from them in the first game. TSM 18th place, however,
Mangginilah Battle Royale namanya.
on the board. So even though their placement isn't fantastic, they will get themselves a bunch of points. And again, that is part of the
Mana totalin anjing?
You might not place so high, but if you can get the frags, then it all
Belum sih, masih game 2 nih.
once you get towards the end.
Enggak ditotalin dulu.
Ya nanti deh.
Atau gue mau lihat gitu siapa duluan.
Yes, PK MK finds 7 kills, but Ardeki adds 2 assists and 2 to himself plus 1900 damage.
Oh, si Gibi-nya yang kill banyak tuh.
These guys are lethal. It's almost like that they are trained assassins. They know how to execute, and you never want to meet them in a 3v3. You never want to meet them in a final circle. You certainly don't want to meet them in your group stages if you need points and are trying to get your rhythm up, because they're certainly going to take.
No, pasti ditambahin.
They've done that today.
Repenan lumayan lah. Nomor 4.
Iya.
17 places, we can see how important these points are, especially
Lumayan
in
lah
these
nomor
early
4.
games. Not far behind are the
Top
likes of
10 lah
Zen,
setidaknya
Fennel,
2 Indonesia.
Elevate. A lot of teams you
Yoi.
may not expect to be in this position, as we can see.
Kapan lagi,
You
cuy?
have
Top
the
10
likes
coy,
of
dua
Element 6,
Indonesia.
100 Thieves Alliance. The question
Grup
is,
grup C ya mereka nih, si Indo, double Indo.
Kayaknya iya deh.
and stay ahead of these teams as we go
Dewa
through.
United Bastian anjing. Si Bas ya yang
Maybe having a little bit of an issue in separating themselves.
Iya, bisa jadi ya.
Iya, coba tanya dah.
From first to 9th place, but Team Empire, TSM, NRG specifically.
Aduh, TSM sedih banget sumpah.
We saw what happened there to them, but a lot of these teams,
TSM
the
anjir
answers aren't
12.
to what is the cause that
Marah-marah
they
tuh.
aren't working out well.
Goblok.
Absolutely. It is, yeah, there's a lot of teams, a lot of name brand teams, let's say, which are running kind of cold at the moment. But I tell you what's hot right now, it's Maggie. She's a smoke show, and we're going to see more of her, I'm sure.
Oh iya, tadi ada yang pakai Mad Maggie cuy.
Sumpah.
Iya, gue lupa tim apa.
But he's sure. Trust me, we're going to be talking about Maggie. We're going to get ready for game 3. We're going to take a quick break, though. We'll be right back to finish out the first.
Tapi Maggie emang tacticalnya
round after this.
bagus banget sih. Tapi ultinya kurang.
Kayaknya susah kenanya. Gak susah kan?
Iya.
Nih tuh. Grup A, grup B 20 winner bracket, 20 loser bracket coy.
Oh, mantap.
Ya nanti diambil 10-10 kayaknya. Gak tau juga sih. Apek lah.
Jadi pengen main Apek ya.
Iya anjing. Ini gue lagi buka Apek.
Nanti paling Apex Mobile kalau ada e-sportnya kayak gini-gini juga sih. 11-12.
Harusnya.
Iya. Nggak beda-beda jauh lah sistemnya.
Harusnya disupport sih. Orang rame
Iya.
kok yang main. Masih.
Untuk playernya banyak apa enggak?
Sampai 6 kali match. Rambut gua apa bet dah. Optik Gimang.
Wah, kemarin menang PCT Optic Gaming.
Iya nggak. Tapi menurut gue emang itu sih memang berhak menang.
Cukup banget emang.
Tacticalnya gitu-gitu lumayan lah.
Akhirnya NA menang sesuatu aja.
Sebenernya PRX tuh bisa menang pas lawan Zeta, tapi picknya PRX pas di map Heaven tuh jelek.
Apa emang?
Lupa gua, pokoknya jelek banget dah. Terus kayak mainnya goblok gitu anjing. Kecilin dulu anjing lagunya. Gede bet. Jung jeng. Deja vu kenapa tuh? Iqbal. Oh yang nonton 7 orang cuy. GG juga. Udah mulai sih, anjir baru login Apex udah mau mulai lagi. Di Apex berapa DPI? 800.
Gue 400 semua game.
Enaknya Logitech satu-satunya ini sih apa? Sama kayak Corsair dulu, dia tiap game bisa beda DPI. Jadi kalau gue masuk game ini langsung DPI-nya berubah gitu.
Oh, profilnya beda gitu ya.
Corsair juga gitu. Apalagi Logitech ini kan nggak ada DPI buttonnya.
Oh nggak ada?
Nggak ada.
Oh.
Tapi menurut gue buat apa juga sih dibuat DPI button, kan kalau lu apa ya? Kalau lu mainnya cuma pakai satu doang gitu. Iya gak sih?
Lumayan bisa lo ganti buat apa gitu.
Enggak, tapi apa ya? Misal nih lu main Apex 800. Ya udah main Apex aja 800 gitu kan. Maksudnya di in game lu juga nggak bakal ganti-ganti gitu. Dan
maksudnya buat makro yang lain gitu.
Oh, nggak guna sih, kan di biasanya di tengahnya tombolnya emang makro apa nih?
Apa kayak yang lu perlu cepat gitu, misalnya dash kali. Dash jet gitu.
Ada mouse button.
Oh, kalau gue mouse button tuh buat komunikasi, ngomong.
Gue sekarang juga udah nggak pakai mouse button sih. Semenjak yang crosshair gue rusak tuh, kagak bisa. Ya kan mau nggak mau gue pakai keyboard. Akhirnya full keyboard gue sekarang. Sama kayak lu, gue sekarang apa? Agak pakai mouse buat ngomong doang.
Buat ngomong doang.
Dan juga katanya di beberapa e-sport mouse button nggak diperbolehkan ya.
Oh, buat tahu coba.
Kan ada beberapa mouse yang mouse buttonnya sampai kayak crosshair dulu gua tuh yang itu yang night night sword. Itu ada 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 ada 7 tombol coy. Bisa di fully programmable.
Masa di band kayak gitu?
Ya nggak boleh. Apa ya hitungannya lu make nih misal nih ya, apa contoh lu main Dota dah. Main Dota, lu pakai makro kayak makin vokal langsung cos export gitu kan, kayak dengan satu tombol gitu.
Bisa gitu mouse lo?
Bisa lah. Yang Corsair aja.
Curang.
Bisa, semua mouse sekarang bisa digituin.
Curang sih kalau gitu.
Nah makanya nggak diperbolehkan. Lu kan pernah nyoba?
Anjir. Ada aja.
Langsung combo gitu anjir gue. Anjir nih. Curang juga. Udah mulai belum? Oh, belum, masih ngomong-ngomong.
Menurut gue mesti di band yang kayak multi input gitu sih kalau ada.
Apa?
Jadi kayak beberapa mouse kan ada yang bisa burst fire tuh. Tau nggak lo? Yang kayak kiri atasnya ada tombol lagi
Nah,
buat burst fire.
Netsword gue gitu.
Oh
Kiri
ya?
atas iya, ada
Nah
tombolnya
itu
lagi.
cepetan tuh menurut gue. Nah itu mesti di band tuh yang kayak gitu.
Nah, maksud gue gitu dulu. Ya Netsword yang sekarang di Suneru. Itu gue pengen pinjem dulu, mau gue review apa, gue pengen bikin review kayak perubahan dari mouse berat ke mouse enteng.
Anjay.
Masih ada nggak ya? Harusnya masih ada sih.
Jual.
Udah mulai belum?
Ada lagi.
Saya nggak tahu deh kalau sekarang mouse button mungkin diperbolehkan kalau buat beberapa hal. Saya gue liat di profilnya si Tan ngede sama updraftnya pakai mouse button.
Bentar, di turnamen boleh tap strafing kan?
Boleh lah.
Can you tap strafe? In LGS.
Ini kok nggak boleh ya sedikit.
Kok nggak boleh?
Nggak boleh.
Nggak
Oh.
boleh.
Kenapa nggak boleh? Curang.
Oh, cuma di controller doang.
Apa bisa tetap saving?
Nggak di bandnya. Jadi lu di controller tuh nggak boleh bunny hop, nggak boleh wall bounce, tap strafe. Terus
Kenapa?
nge-load sambil gerak nggak boleh.
Kenapa?
Karena sebenarnya itu bug tau. Tap strafe nge-load sambil gerak-gerak tuh bug aslinya. Cuma kadang-kadang orang udah pada biasa kalau di remove jadi kayak nggak enak gitu.
Oh jadi kalau sambil ngeload harus diem?
Iya, kalau controller ya.
Kenapa controller dong?
Nah itu gue nggak tahu. Kita terlalu OP kali controller.
Nggak masuk akal ya. Kapan lu wakilin Indo bang? Ya, gua mah penikmat aja.
RocV wakilin kecamatannya belum kesampaian.
Iya. Halo Hiroki, gila udah lambat gak ketemu. Halo, welcome to the stream. Baik-baik aja, gue lagi nonton ini Nobar tapi lagi nunggu masih persiapan nih. Practice dulu anjir. Seven Randy. Apex PC lebih susah anjir di mobile, seminggu ngumpulin 2k kill pakai red easy, di PC kill 1 main 2 jam aja kagak bisa. Saran legend rock buat newbie. Saran legend buat newbie Gibi. Karena kenapa Gibi gue saranin? Karena apa ya? Lu buat pemula pasti kan yang lu fokusin adalah aim ya, bukan movement. Nah, enaknya Gibi di PC adalah, dan juga di mobile sebenarnya lu bisa fokus ke aim lu, dan karena Gibi tuh ada shield, jadi setidaknya lu kalau sambil nge-shield gitu masih ada, kalau ditembakin dari musuh masih ada protection lah buat ngebenerin aim lu. Menurut gue sih Gibi sih hero buat awal-awal, sama Bangalore. Kenapa Bangalore? Karena pertama dia punya skill smoke-nya. Ada skill smoke, jadi lu bisa kabur. Dan apa ya, dia pasifnya kalau ditembakin larinya makin cepat, jadi lu bisa kabur. Menurut gue sih itu ya, yang legend-legend yang buat pemula. Sama lifeline lah. Lifeline lu bisa nge-heal diri lu sendiri. Gitu. Kalau menurut Yure apa nih, apa legend buat pemula?
Legend buat pemula.
Kan tackle gue Gibi, lifeline sama Bangalore.
Kalau menurut gue overrated sih.
Kenapa?
Belajar buat positioning bagus sama belajar buat sabar. Kan mereka kan tactical bisa pakai buat kabur tuh. Jadi belajar untuk apa ya? Untuk fight 2 kali gitu. Kalau udah low mundur, heal dulu, balik lagi, kayak gitu-gitu.
Bisa sih, bisa. Kenapa nggak Octane bang? Kenapa nggak Octane ya? Gue Octane, kalau orang pemula pakai Octane, jadi apa ya, rasanya lu pengen ngeras mulu gitu. Sebenarnya kan yang diajarkan di Apex kan sebenarnya sabar. Kalau lu pakai Octane ngeras mulu ya, nanti pas lu kesini-sini bakalan ngeras mulu, iya gak sih?
Iya.
Kalau perspektif dari gue ya. Karena kan Octane tuh kan hero-nya ras mulu. Nah menurut gua ya lu belajar itu ya dulu lah, belajar yang namanya mechanical Yang biasa dulu lah. Kayak Red,
Iya,
Gibi,
sama Wraith dia kan pendek legendnya. Jadi hitboxnya kecil.
Nah iya.
Jadi kalau lu gerak-gerak susah ditembak.
Bisa juga tuh. Lebaran mau hampir tiba ya? Iya, udah tanggal 2 lagi. Kenapa Yure?
Oh, terus nggak ada kayak movement bantuan gitu, nggak ada steam, nggak ada grapple gitu. Jadi apa ya, terbiasa sama movement yang nggak pakai bantuan gitu.
Ah bener tuh. Bisa.
Kayak gitu-gitu sih paling.
Kenapa nggak sama bagus nggak sama Valkyrie? Valkyrie bagus kok, gua main Valkyrie malahan sebenarnya, tapi kadang-kadang mager aja. Kenapa gua mager pakai Valkyrie kagak bisa wall bounce aja?
Iya.
Karena kalau pakai Valkyrie nih bentar.
Scroll.
Karena kalau pakai Valkyrie dia tuh kalau mau wall bounce tuh kayak terbang sendiri gitu. Halo Zenzenil, welcome. Bisa trap-trapping nggak bisa nih? Trap-trapping. SS bagus juga sih. Buat ulti sama skill satunya simple. Skill Q-nya bisa ngebain musuh. Sebenarnya sih tergantung ke lu karakter lu gimana. Lu misal mau ngeras ya lu pilih Octane, lu kalau mainnya diem-diem ya lu mau pilih GB atau
Tergantung gaya main lu.
tergantung. Kalau gua kan emang pas gua ngeliat Valkyrie awalnya gua kurang demen, tapi kok enak nih hero bisa ke high ground gitu kan. Tutor bang, tap strafe. Bentar, nonton dulu. Nanti tutorialnya lanjut.
Completely catching a team off guard. We'll see if they can do that and stabilize afterwards.
Kita lihat di sini apakah players akan memenangkan 2 game.
With a play like that, they definitely deserved more.
Seems like they're on the right path.
Pakai jet bang, wah salah game kamu Stephen. Itu mah hero gua, tapi udah di nerf, tapi nerfnya nggak terlalu efektif banget, masih OP aja gua bilang. Kagak guna di nerf. Emang harusnya tuh skillnya diubah anjing kalau jet mau di nerf tuh.
Smoke cuma 1, loncatnya cuma 1.
Anjing, mager gua main jet sumpah kalau kayak gitu.
Biasanya ganti lari neon. Nah,
ngapain?
Pisaunya
ada
ultinya cuma bisa melee doang.
Ngapain neon digunakan kalau dibentuk, kalau ada jet bisa begitu. Tapi neon udah di nerf BTW apa? Temboknya udah kagak bisa ngedamage lagi. Jadi kalian kalau mau nembus wallnya si neon nembus aja. Nih orang ini kayak si Paslon ini kayak orang Indo aja, kayak siapa ya? Artis.
Bener juga ya?
Iya kayak siapa ya? Afgan.
Ya Sandiaga Uno gak sih?
Oh iya, saya lebih muda ya. Atau ini orang Indo coy.
Sandiaga Uno nih.
Coba cari Paslon.
Kebanyakan duit main Apex.
Extremely successful as far as championships go.
2001 anjir.
Oh, ini their best over the course of not only split 2 but these playoffs here, and they certainly seem like they have the attitude for it. Picking up Onmu has been a huge part of, I think, the camaraderie and the team comms that are going along and creating a lot of synergy. So big expectations for them in this tournament. Cloud9, a team that clearly, from a communication standpoint, had a couple of questions that needed to be
namanya
answered.
stay naughty anjing.
Playing with a sub,
Lah,
not easy.
stay naughty ada 2, stay naughty.
Do their best, and I think that's kind of the key here on stay naughty.
Salah ini, salah. Overlay-nya salah.
Traditionally in blue, the Cloud9 squad. Good start for them in that respect. Purple backpack on your jibby, not too shabby either. We did talk about gathering resources, and all of those things will certainly help. And again, they'll just be looking to
logonya Cloud9 keren banget.
Iya, kayak apa awan tapi bentuknya 9 gitu ya, kayak kreatif banget
Iya.
Lihat ini cacat bangsat.
Enggak tahu aslinya jago sumpah.
Tapi lagi nggak menang apa-apa dia anjir, kasihan banget dah.
save their shield cells if they
Oh,
can,
di
hug
game
the
lain.
ultimate and get their
Valorant.
shields slowly up, but you don't always have
Valorant
the opportunity
kagak ada
to
Cloud9.
help extend your utility.
Cloud9
CS:GO
dulu bukan di Cloud9. Maksudnya main
They are
pro-nya.
sandwiched between
Sekarang
Cloud9
mana?
and Thieves.
Oh, iya.
You than me.
CS:GO dibubarin 2020 baru mau mulai lagi. Cloud9 CS:GO.
League of Legends.
Nggak tahu kalau league-nya. Di turnamen Gibi dipakai mulu anjir, mungkin kalau itu bisa ditanya Yure sih kenapa dipakai mulu. Kenapa tuh Yure?
Gibi. Soalnya Gibi bisa semuanya, damage ada, defense ada.
Bener.
Kalau udah kelar fight, dome dipakai buat reset, buat nge-heal, nge-loot gitu. Kalau nge-push, dome dilempar buat cover. Terus kalau di ulti Gibi lain bisa nge-dome, balas ulti lagi, kayak gitu-gitu. OP lah.
Masuk akal sih.
Terus Gibi kalau ditembak ada gun shield, jadi damage-nya nggak banyak-banyak amat.
Nggak 100% lah masuk ke Gibinya.
Yoi. Ditambah lagi ada pasifnya lagi tuh.
Nah, pasifnya Gibi tuh
Minus
minus
15%.
15% ya, benar-benar.
Iya. Jadi itu nge-stack sama gun shield-nya.
TB bet dah, Gibi aja.
TB bet dah. Oh, terus dia nggak ke-slow kalau ditembak.
Oh. Even kena itu kenapa? Rockstar?
Oh, kalau Arkstar masih kena sih.
Oh. Kena
Tapi
triple
kalau
tag.
kena masih jalan.
Triple tag.
Iya.
Kena
Kayaknya masih jalan deh.
Sentinel gitu kena.
Iya, kayaknya masih jalan deh.
Nanti aja kita buktikan aja.
Terus dia kadang-kadang kalau Arkstar kena gun shield nggak nancap anjir. Jatuh gitu kayak pluk gitu ke tanah. Kayaknya Gibi mesti di nerf nih.
Oh, di sini tap surfing nggak boleh ya?
Controller yang nggak boleh.
Kasian banget aing. Kayak controller digituin karena udah ada M itunya deh.
Soalnya controller kayak cara dia tap strafingnya aneh cuy. Mesti pakai software dari luar.
Oh.
Iya.
Ini
gara-gara itu deh.
Nggak boleh lah. Nah ini sih botak tadi nih.
Mampus lu. Johnny Sins anjir.
Si botak mati ini sih pakai Gibi.
But will they go for the ult as well? How much do they want to throw in the drain potentially in order to get their Jibby up? It is worth it, of course. You lose so much ability if your Jibby isn't up. But Case Winnie, here's the res.
Whoa!
Not going to be enough though, is it? Goodbye.
Wow, he is swinging with that. And not even a turbocharger in sight. The confidence jams to be able to go ahead and try to peek that corner. It does work out for them though. It is Zen. Out from underneath. Say we don't want to share this tendency with you. Get out eviction notice on the
Skin Triawan. Iya. Gue pengen nih.
Came in the fire exit, saw the door was ajar and exploited Zen. And again, you saw them pull out the caustic ult but not throw it. Like, ooh, should we, shouldn't we? Even if we do, where do we throw it? Right. They don't know where the threats are, and it cost them. Wolf now, where does he go? I don't think he's got anywhere to go. We may be losing our first team very, very soon indeed. Still 20 squads up for now as he tries to find something somewhere. And I'll tell you one thing, he's not recovering those banners, I don't think.
No, it cannot. It can only last for so long, and he's just got to hope that somebody else.
Wallbounds nggak boleh juga di turnamen.
Controller nggak boleh.
Because so far he's got the sole attention of element 6, but
Karena controller tuh suka ada yang itu loh. Gimana ya? Dia pakai software dari luar buat ganti inputnya dari analog ke digital gitu. Kayak gitu-gitulah, gue gak ngerti juga. Karena thumbstick di controller tuh bukan input digital kalau nggak salah ya, kayak gitu.
Cuma buat gerakin doang ya.
Kayak apa ya? Kan kalau input digital tuh kayak keyboard nih. Kan itu kan biner kan, jadi kayak lu antara lu pencet atau enggak kan, jadi 1-0 gitu. Nanti ya nyala atau enggak gitu kan.
Iya.
Kalau thumbstick dikontrol tuh enggak gitu. Nah gara-gara itu dia nggak bisa tap strafing. Kalau mau tap strafing mesti ganti ke digital. Nah itu pakai software dari luar. Kayaknya sih gitu ya penjelasannya, kalau nggak salah.
Masuk akal sih.
Nggak salah.
Nah kan thumbstick juga sebenarnya bukan tombol. Kan kayak kalau bilangin binner gitu kan, kalau pencet W keluarnya W, kalau pencet atas keluarnya HP.
Kan thumbstick kan bisa kayak atas tapi nggak atas banget gitu.
Jalan dikit gitu.
Iya. Dewa nih.
Hero-nya rata-rata kalau display pakai itu mulu ya. Apa emang nggak boleh ganti?
Boleh.
However, cumulatively, it is less than desired, putting it mildly. We see Reject have some problems now. They've lost their crypto. I'd probably lose a crypto than lose a Jibby. However, you know, when you do need to retrieve a banner, crypto's the one you want to go and get it. You saw they were trying to fish for it, but they don't want to become fish for it. So they have to go back, and the teams around him will know that they have forced the dome. So they're going to use the dome to get out of there, because if there's a team near enough to them and they know they're in a 3v2,
ini pakai ini nih, pakai apa? Pakai
kiri kanan gitu.
Pakai mouse. Ya, mati gibinya. Hampir mati.
Trying to get inside just to get the shields up. So this game looking real hard for Reject, and while they've made their way in to try and heal up, they'll soon have to go back out again because they're not in the zone anymore.
Menurut lu siapa yang bakal menang? Champion?
Belum kelihatan dari circle-nya.
Tebak-tebak aja.
Gua sih pengennya TSM, kalau enggak tim Indo lah. Satu. Coba lihat map, mesti buka mapnya lagi sih.
To see what's coming towards them. So
there's
so much coming on.
Gue pencet M anjing.
And there's so many things that we can expect from.
Gue nonton anjing.
Here we are. We are at 18 squads left. We are in game 3.
Tapi ada nggak kayak dari satu RG satu season aja kayak tim itu tuh bener-bener juara satu mulanya.
SM dulu pas pertama kali itu. Juara sama energi dulu kayak itu pas masih ada ACO. Iya. Menang-menang mulu.
ACO sih GG sih.
Iya.
Steaming nggak masuk timnya. Kan ikut ALGS kan ya?
Nggak masuk.
Cuman dia anjing yang di qualifier ALG iya, apa nyari RGS memang kayak Pathfinder dia doang ini.
Iya.
Oke, ini TSM nih.
Mati ini TSM dah.
Hal-hal duluan lagi mati. Oh, bisa coy. Bisa.
Oh ya bisa. Press. Duluan.
TSM desperately need these points. Only 10, sitting well below the threshold of the lobby. But it's Detonator coming in as well, and Detonator, are they going to eliminate TSM? They will. 17 13th place out. Detonator takes
Wah,
down
lempar
2
monitor
squads.
itu sih.
Reject TSM. They are on a run here.
What the
18
fuck are you
points
doing?
so far in this
Jordan
round.
gitu.
Get those shield swaps out. That
Halo
building
waduh si
will
pria
be
ramah,
useful
welcome to
for a
the
time,
stream.
although they're feeling it. They're feeling the
Wah,
full set.
wah,
What do you mean recovery?
wah anjir
What do you
nggak
mean
expect
rest?
tuh,
What do you
sumpah.
mean stabilize? Get out of
Yeah.
my
GB-nya
way.
nggak expect.
Detonator is saying the cavalry is coming through as well, as they are thirsting like they've been eating
Oh,
nothing but
GG.
biscuits for an hour.
20
Nice.
points to the name.
Wah,
Can
stuck.
they stabilize
Oh,
here? They've got shield
Kirain.
swaps. Surely Yuna knows it. He's going to go for it. Right now he
Swap.
swaps into an empty.
Swap.
But he's going to use his time.
Habis.
Hopefully
Enggak,
with
tadi
the
udah
bot
di-swap
to
itu.
just hit a shield back
Masih
and get some
GB-nya
extra
malah.
25 value onto a full red.
Bisa mundur ini, bisa reset dulu.
Giving us a taste of where maybe North America in a lot of these World's End situations running up against other regions.
Banyak
Jepang
juga
nggak
tim Jepang
setinggi-
ya.
Iya, nggak setinggi yang gue pikir nih.
Pakai controller nih, Pinota.
TSM and NRG grieved by the 3 Ps in different
Apanya di bawah ya?
Iya.
Very, very brutal on World's Edge it can be.
Megang yang lain
The
kali
shield
itu.
shots in that,
Anjing.
they could just fall,
Megang
Detonator
stick,
getting
megang
onto,
analog
they
yang
could
lain.
onto, just fall back to that
Megang
building,
analog yang
get those
lain.
shield swaps out.
Sore-sore niat
Real
hati
crucial,
buka FB.
forcing the little
Get
flyers
happy.
away.
Malah
Get out of
dikasih
my
angpau
internet.
lebaran sama Mak juga gebek.
Detonator now
Banned
looking
30 hari,
for
bro Momen
opportunities.
ngapain emang lu?
Decent players.
Sampai di banned 30 hari di Facebook.
That's 2 different teams
Waduh.
there. I'm not sure if they're even aware of
Ngepost
each
apa?
other, but we've got some vermin down below.
Ngepost itu, tapless. Bentar, nasi goreng cuk.
So far on the day.
Okay.
We still have to do a lot more to catch up with players who are victors in the second game. But in this third game, it's not too much. 11 squads left. YL on the wingman hits the reload real quick. 350 next on the Evo. He'd love to have a red just like you do, who hit that swap and then the shield bat. But the biggest part is that they've been able to stabilize. And who were they fighting? Who are they looking at here? Fennel, another APAC North representative who has performed just 1 point higher than them. The regions coming out to play in the first test of Might on a LAN in over 2.5 years, and it has not disappointed.
Japanese team Detonator looking to put in more work. They have to abandon their building, but it has been kind to them. And we've got more rats on deck, desperately hoping that the drone doesn't come his way. But this will be a painful one if he doesn't get moving quickly. Got to round that rock before he can make his way to some
Bentar ya
cover,
guys ya.
or at least try. Detonator now. They've got 8 kills on the board so far, and they'll be looking for more. This has been a very promising game for them, but there are still 9 other squads on the server, so there is much more work to do. Worst case scenario, 8 kills will give them something, but there's so much potential for more as they move with confidence.
22 points on the name, 10 squads left as round 4 looks to close.
Oh my days.
3 seconds here now, but Detonator, they're taking every bit of time that they have and making the most of it. 12s on the board from the R301 as it sings at range, and they look to rotate here. No need to kind of push on that center part. They're going to play outside. And will they run into 100 Thieves here and help be able to third party?
100 Thieves now up high, looking to do what they can. There are a lot of traps in that building, and now there are some angles and some big problems. Vaxlon and Scurry may be eliminated. Scurry's been deleted. My God, those caustic barrels delayed enough to cause a catastrophe. Triple Purple Cloud9 moving forward. They smell opportunity. They've got the zone to their right-hand side, which will give them some confidence as they will finish off 100 Thieves, opening the door, saw the barrels, and that was that.
Wow, Cloud9 here, finally maybe having a moment. And this is going to be very, very important, knowing that halfway they still have the opportunity to have a performance on Storm Point and change the tide of where this is going. But certainly, Poseidon, the god of the tides right now, has been in the hands and favor of Detonator, as well as Fennel. They are not alive. However, Fennel, they've fallen
Dewa, ayo Dewa, bisa Dewa.
Dewa, United Esports, Audic, and Cloud9 left.
Ya, Repenan udah mati ya, Repenan ya.
Tadi kayaknya
Dewa, let's go. Mati nih.
Reset.
Mati. Nggak sempet di reset, nggak sempet.
Iya.
Nggak ada waktu.
and we've got some big issues now. Elevate deleted. In the meantime, they were really trying to stay alive as best they can. And that's where that gold armor comes in clutch. Or does it? No, it doesn't make it actually. Gets eliminated as he's popping. Even the shield cell can't get there in time.
Wah, C9 menang nih kayaknya.
Fans around the world know how much they've gone through here in this moment. Can they keep it
Iya,
up?
iya.
Certainly adds another
C9 menang nih. Kalau dia menang fight ini menang.
shot as well. Stay naughty. Look at this angle that he's got. Creeping in from behind. Do they even see him coming? Stay naughty. Stays naughty. He's got the car in his hand. A quick reload as well. Any ammo you choose, he'll put in that thing and make it ring. He finds the kill. Another squad down.
Nice.
Turning up the heat.
belum tentu.
But just as I say it, Albert Lily falls. It's just Stay naughty left alive.
Gas Daddy's got in the gesture.
Makanya menang fight ini, gue bilang menang match ini.
There is caustic gas all over the shop that it will soon go. The bombardment on the outside will have to just force people away, and maybe they can
Anjing
stay
tuh,
back, can't go in, can't stay out, got to fall back.
Itu
That might
N6
be a
Element
lifeline
6
for
ngendok
Cloud9
doang.
as they try to get their team
Yeah.
standing once again. And
Bisa
still, this
gitu.
30-30 with almost
Seperti-
no attachments, still putting in
Wah,
nasty damage.
Helm Crypto, anjing.
Inside the truck continues.
Iya.
Eight back north, almost feel like they're representing their entire
Top up
region.
berapa lu, Bang?
Playing so excellently. It is absolutely what you would expect to see from a team that is wanting
Gak,
to represent a region that is wanting to show
E6 nih kayaknya menang deh nih.
Ya, kayaknya E6 sih gua.
from South America, from APAC South, from North America, from EMEA. Well, they're certainly doing it, but there's still one top dog here who came in.
Orang bilang high ground tuh penting ya. Cuma cover juga di beberapa situasi lebih penting sih.
Tergantung sih menurut gua high groundnya ada cover atau kagak. Kalau high groundnya di truk gitu mah cupu.
But it doesn't feel like that with the way
Iya,
they're playing.
nih
If they can
E6
keep this
menang nih
rhythm of
kayaknya.
games and they
Feeling
can
gua.
put this into the next 3 games, this would be an incredible story of perseverance for them.
Indo tim apa aja, Bro? Namanya Revenant Esport sama Dewa United Esport. Dua tim aja.
Dua tim aja. Tapi Indo semua isinya.
Ya, pesannya NXL Wolfpack nggak masuk sih dia. Jago juga tuh padahal. Tinen mati coy. Element 6 sih, Element 6 sih.
Opportunity and down go Cloud9. We move to 2 squads now, the final 2. If an Element 6 can play the waiting game,
Belibet anjing caster ngomong. Gua potong dadu terus.
It's a nervous time now as
Iya,
Element 6
E6 menang.
smell the opportunity.
Audit
Kecuali ada play apa gitu,
from
clutch
Brazil
apa gitu.
having a chance to change this dynamic. The story seems almost already written. It's just waiting to be
Tapi
greenlit by the
udah
studio.
double
Will there be
angle
a
gitu,
rewrite?
nggak
Will we
hold
see
ya.
something change? It's an aggressive bubble as well. Sua looks to jump in, but not bite off more than he can chew. Both teams teasing, pressuring each other, but not fully
Sama-sama
committed.
ini sih,
Element 6
sama-sama.
knows that there's a threat. Case winning.
Nasi goreng gue udah jadi lagi, Bang.
Fortify passive, 15% less damage to the caustic and the Gibby. You've got to do 30% more damage in total to get through these guys. Plus the aim, it's just so good sometimes. In case when he knows it, he goes up for the ego challenge. He goes down, but he's got Nags supporting him on the high ground as well. It's just Nags. They're trying to finish it off. He takes down one. Can Nags clutch it up and get the second? Will it be
Siapa yang menang nih?
a total hero moment for Element 6 and Nags, the wingman
Oh,
shot. No,
Odik,
Brazil takes the
anjir.
win.
Yah.
Onyx celebrates as they should. As they
Wingman-nya
take game 3.
akhir-akhirnya ngecok,
What
nggak
a
kena.
crazy,
Nggak apa-apa lah.
crazy finish. We got knocks on knocks action on the outside and nervous wingman shots, but there wasn't enough in the end. And here, these are the pop-offs we need on land, man. Talk your business. Trying to not say a certain other word, but this is what we need. The pop-offs. Keep going. Give it. That was a great finish to the last game of ALGS Edge in the second series of 3 today.
What a moment. Not just from Element 6 and Audit, but from that entire lobby, especially those top 5 teams. The ability for Vega to move in, the ability obviously for C9 to kind of deal with a hand that wasn't quite favorable to start out with and somehow manage that top 4 position, top 3 position. But at the end of the day, it was our team from Brazil, Audit, who would find the win, the clutch up indeed with the Mastiff. And man, they are smiling aplenty. A huge support here to our Brazilian fan base as well. You know they're happy.
bearing in mind these finals are in Europe, if you're used to watching EMEA and North American Apex Legends, then there are all kinds of spanners in the works with the results that we've seen in these games. But finally, we've got a good placement from Cloud9. I'm going to mention that first, in third place with 8 kills. Element 6 up there as well with 8 kills, but in first place with 11, it is Odic. We've got new names, we've got new faces at the top of many of these finishes.
You know what I'm learning about this? Not only the fact that we've got a lot of teams that are now going to be a part of this conversation that maybe weren't a part of it coming into it, because we haven't seen them perform at LAN against teams that have built up that brand name that we've seen. But it's the fact that we may not know anything. Odic, Detonator, Fennel, Elevate, Dewa. If you tried to pick out this lobby and put Scars, Alliance, Empire in the bottom, not only 5, but the bottom, like, I mean, you're looking at, this is what we would say is the best of Europe and APAC North coming in.
Look at the bottom 6, AD Raccoon.
Tim apa saja yang gue tahu cuma energi injir itu pun cuma tahu ACU. ACU udah nggak di energi. Udah kagak. Udah jadi streamer dia sekarang.
All I'm seeing is zeros and ones. It's like we're in a matrix here, but it's just full poverty. It's no programming, just basic ass numbers. And these guys leave with almost nothing here. Things looking real dry in the bottom half of match number 3 today.
Man, James, this has been such a great moment and it's such a great day so far. We've got some casters coming up.
Nggak tahu masih nonton atau enggak antara dua. Ada guys, gua game dulu dah. GG buat tim minus masih lanjut, tapi ya kan lihat sendiri lah kamu lanjutannya. Oke, see you next live guys, bye bye.